Hello everybody and welcome to Flying on a Dime. I am your pilot, Alan Hartzell. You probably have already noticed we're not in an airplane. Sorry to disappoint. We're in a car. We're driving to the airport, to the airplane, where all the action happens. So, I'm a Reddit user. I go by the name Freefall Junkie. I've gotten a lot of support on Reddit for the idea of starting a YouTube channel for pilots that are struggling to earn hours, that don't have a lot of money, that that just go through the adventures they go through. My adventure isn't really any more unique than anybody else's, but I thought this would be a fun way to share some of the ways that I've gotten through being a poor pilot and having to scrounge and look for ways to earn hours or to even get a couple free hours here and there. Also, I'm an airplane owner, as you'll see when I get to the airport. I got a 1968 Cherokee 140. It's a beautiful airplane. I think it's beautiful, and it was really a diamond in the rough. I'll tell you guys a little bit about how I earned the privilege of being able to buy that airplane, how I found it, and how you guys maybe can use the same techniques to buy your own or look for your own, and some of the challenges that go along with airplane ownership. Now, of course, I'm not going to say that owning an airplane is a better idea than joining a club or renting. I mean, I have my opinion, and that's definitely what this channel is going to be about. It's all going to be my opinion. I have only 100 hours as a private pilot. I am nowhere near experienced, as they would say. I just have gone through some experiences. I'm not going to say whether you should or shouldn't do the things that I do or that I have done. It's going to be more of a, this is the problem I encountered, here's what I did to get through it. And then maybe you guys can give me some feedback. I think it'd be great if we all worked as a community. That's actually going to be a big idea of mine for this channel, is that we all kind of work as a community. That being said, I thought it would also be fun maybe if other newer pilots sent me some of their videos on how they deal with some of the challenges of being a new pilot or airplane owner. And, I can share them online. I don't plan on making any money off of this whatsoever. The point is that I'm flying on a dime. I don't have a lot of money, and I don't really see the channel going anywhere if I made money off of it. Any profits I do make from this, if any, are just going to go to better equipment to film this. Right now I'm filming on my front-facing camera on my HTC Droid HTC One M8 because I have a GoPro 3, but the Wi-Fi feature was left on, and the reason is it's not my GoPro, it's one I borrowed, and I had no idea how it worked, and I was wondering why that blue light kept on freaking blinking all the time, and I decided that today, since I don't have a lot of time, would be a good day to film this, and it's dead. So it's at home charging. You guys are gonna have to deal with this crappy front-facing camera for now. I'll flip it over to the other camera. Oh my god, you know what? VVS, vertical video syndrome. On my way to the airport, I live in Beaumont, California. Closest airport to me is the Banning, California airport, or Kilo Bravo November Golf, KBNG. It's a very small municipal airport, one runway, very little activity, very little maintenance. In fact, bushes growing out of the concrete, cracks in the taxi and runway, burnt out lights, PAPI doesn't work, the AWAS doesn't transmit. You can call and get the information, which I might show you guys that today, I might not, we'll see. But other than that, it's pretty ran down. But there's been a couple great encounters I've had at this airport. I've found some other pilots that have just run into problems, that were stranded there, and I was able to help them. I've met, and you might meet him in these videos too, Bernard, fellow Cherokee pilot. His friend Alan, who was with him the day that I quote-unquote rescued them when they were here. They were trying to get to a bus stop and they had no idea where they were. I just happened to be coming in and I was going to be flying out to Riverside to go to work, and they did not know where the bus stop was. It was raining, which is rare here, so I gave him a ride. Made a great friend. I am going to enjoy many adventures in his Cherokee and his and mine, and he's a great flying buddy, so I'm excited to have him around. I've met a couple other people. I've met some of the local, I'm not going to tell you guys a code, it's a secret. Met some of the local pilots around here that have really helped me with my airplane. It's my first airplane, like I said, and I don't know everything about it. I mean, I'm fairly knowledgeable. I did a lot of research, but you know, there's new experiences that I don't have any experience with. So, good example is a gentleman here, Dave. He's got a Cherokee as well. He's got a 180, and he was able to help me diagnose a battery problem that I have, and you guys will see that here very soon. I'm gonna be facing the sun, so I'm gonna get all cool like. All right. So we're almost there, and I'm gonna flip this over for when we're walking out to the plane. All right, so we're parked. We're at the Banning Airport, walking out to my beautiful Cherokee. I found this Cherokee at the Redlands Airport. I was sort of in the market for an airplane. I sort of wasn't. What happened was I was in Redlands getting some dental work done. I was actually getting a wisdom tooth pulled. Ugh. I would say one of the worst days ever, but right after it happened, I was still feeling pretty good on my pain meds. The Redlands Airport was just down the street, and I didn't have my private pilot's license at the time, but of course, like any pilot, I love airplanes, I love flying. So I just decided to walk around and look at some of the airplanes, you know, see if there's any for sale, see what the market's like. I was walking around, I walked in between these two hangars, and at the end of the hangars, like in between the hangars and a dirt bank, was this Cherokee 140 just sitting out there in the sun with a little bitty for sale sign in the window, very little. It was hard to tell that it was even for sale. Here it is, my baby. She needs some work, but she's mine. I love it. So it was hard to tell that it was even for sale. But once I found the sign, I found the number, and I was like, you know what? I bet I could get a good deal on this. I just wonder what the market's like, you know? Let me search around. I wasn't even looking for a low wing, too. That's the thing. I did all my training in a Cessna 150, 172, all high wings. So I don't know if I was particular. I just didn't know of low wings. So the idea of getting a Piper was just kind of foreign to me. I thought, oh, well, you know, I trained in high wings. I'll get a high wing. I know that Cessnas are really, really popular. And I thought, you know, it's for good reason. They're better aircraft for whatever reason it might be. Maybe they're more cost effective to have and easier to repair. Maybe there's just so many on the market that they're cheaper. It turns out that really none of those are the case. I got this airplane with only 2,500 hours on the airframe and engine for way less than I could find any of the Cessnas. And I found it by accident, just by walking around an airport, which I thought was pretty amazing. It just goes to show you, you know, when you're looking, expect to find it when you're not looking. Because I looked in all the articles online, it didn't work for me. So I'm going to switch over to the other camera so you guys can see the inside. All right, grand tour of the inside of my Cherokee 140. A sunshade here, very important. Protect the dash as much as possible. Pull that up. So it's pretty clean. I mean, very, very simple design. Not a lot to it. Got a single radio with, get in here, some better lighting. Single radio stack with navigation for VOR. There's a VOR. It doesn't have a glide slope indicator, so unfortunately this thing is not even close to IFR rated. And even the clock's missing. I mean, that's only like $50 to buy and put in, so I'm not too worried about that. Engine, and there's a tack, and it's only got 121 since the engine was last put back into service. It's taken out of service for a while and just kind of sat. Transponder, a Loran. Ooh, they don't use those anymore if you didn't know. Other than that, you know, very simple. It's got the Jesus bar for the flaps, which I actually like. I feel like I have more control with that. Fuel selector since it's a low wing. Yeah, so it's pretty clean. Little four-seater. Here's the back seats. I try to keep it in good condition. Oh, I forgot to buckle this. Probably because I was working on it earlier. I've taken a lot of people in it. We'll get into that some other time about taking people. Tow bar. Do need to do some cleanup back here. I am in the middle of restoration. You can see there's some dirt on the floor. I have been scraping off some of the old gunk and trying to clean it up a little bit. For what reasons? Well, maybe for my own personal enjoyment, and maybe for selling. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I am flying on a dime, and at any point, if I need to, I can sell this airplane for as much as I paid for it. Probably more. I got a really great deal on it. That's another subject, though. All right, let's take a tour around the outside. All right, I'm just going to talk a bit more while I do a pre-flight here. So I just got my pilot's license, let's see, July 21st. It's one of the few things where I can actually remember the exact day like that. I usually forget stuff. Oh, what date was that? Like, I can remember my anniversary, July 25th, with my beautiful wife. It's been 6 years now, who, by the way, is now 12 weeks pregnant as of the time that I'm taking this video. Let's see. Put my little stand up here. So I've had it for August, September, 2 months. Not very long at all. That being said, I've had a lot of adventures so far in that 2 months. I've been all the way up from Banning here, all the way up to Oregon, which I actually went on that trip 750 nautical miles, 4 days after I received my pilot's license. I get a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, that's too soon, but I don't think so. I mean, I had all the skills I needed to make a cross-country flight. Granted, it was a really long cross-country flight, but it was not out of my capabilities. Checking the fuel here. Quality looks good. I'm gonna fill it up all the way, make sure there's no condensation in the tank. Tire looks good. Brake system looks good. I'm gonna leave those chained on because we're not actually flying today. I'm just kind of going through the pre-flight. I'm gonna show you what I'm dealing with, that's all. Gas looks good, it's clear. There's no, it's got a light blue tint to it, 100 low lead of course. No water. Sun's going down. We're gonna have to make this a little quick. Tonight is the full blood moon and lunar eclipse. There's a lot of pilots doing a lot of cool stuff tonight. Like my friend I told you about, Bernard. He's actually flying up to the high desert in his Cherokee. And they're gonna watch the sunset, the moon come up, and then the whole lunar eclipse. And I wanted to go and I was invited. But when you're flying on a dime, you can't go to every single event like that. Well, here's the inside of my engine. You guys can see it. It's actually pretty clean for a 1968. I was actually pretty impressed with that. I do want to replace my shroud here. It's getting a little loose, and you can see there's been some shoddy work done on it. I don't think it would cost too much to replace that and tighten it down. Of course, everything costs something, so I got to budget correctly. So again, I bought this airplane, or I spotted it before I got my private pilot's license, and I did buy it before I got my private pilot's license as well. You can't really see how high it is without wiping it off first. Well, it's too hard to do with two hands, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. It had 6 quarts in it, which it holds up to 8. Something I have learned as an owner is that it holds 8. That doesn't mean it will keep holding 8. Now, what I mean by that is you put in 8, it's gonna just blow probably 2 of that right out the breather. I zoomed in, didn't I? Look at how noob I am. I'll learn, you guys. It's a learning process. So what I mean by that, blow 2 right out the breather, and this, I've heard this from many pilots, that it's just a waste of those 2 quarts. Now, they did suggest that you go ahead and fill it up all the way when you do an oil change, which I have not done yet. But looking at my oil, it seems that I'm due for one. You guys can't see in there, but it's clear, no bird nests. Tire looks good. I actually just had it inflated not too long ago. Paint's a little better for wear. Definitely use a paint job. One thing I like about this airplane, it's got a lot of character. It's got a lot of aesthetic flaws. And it doesn't look great, but it works. Just got through an annual, beginning of July, I believe it had its annual. I only have 5 gallons in that tank. I have 10 in the right tank and 5 gallons in this tank. 15 gallons, that's about an hour and a half of fuel. Of course, we went a 30-minute reserve at least, so it's about an hour of actual flying fuel. I won't be buying it here because it's like $5.70 a gallon. There's a fuel depot over there. It's pretty expensive. Nowadays, fuel prices are pretty low, so I don't really need to deal with $5 a gallon. I just spilled the freaking gas on my wing because I'm doing this with 2 hands. When I get better equipment, this will be easier, you guys. It's a good thing I got a rag here. Mop it up. You don't want to let that stuff sit in your paint, or else, well, this happens. Right here, right around the gas cap, huh? Anyways, going back to what I'm going to try to do with these videos. This one's terrible because plans changed. GoPro died. And things just kind of didn't work out the way I wanted them to. I worked yesterday, and then gosh, I did not want to work. This is the lowest fuel sump on the airplane. It's important to check this one because since the water's heavier than fuel, this is where a lot of it's going to collect. Looks clear though, looks good. Okay, this time I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to do this with one hand here. Good. And then pour it in. There we go. I won't pour it in if it does have water or a lot of debris in it, of course. If it looks clear, hey, I want to use that fuel. It's getting cheaper, still expensive. Oh yeah. Video is distracting me from doing this correctly. Here's the cover. I'm gonna leave it on. We're not going anywhere. I'm just showing you guys. So if you're wondering about buying a Cessna versus a Cherokee, let me tell you, having only one door, it's kind of a pain in the ass. That being said, I did get this for a lot cheaper than I can find any Cessna 172. It uses the same engine as the Cessna 172. I believe it's a, is it a Continental? 350? I can't remember if it's the Continental is the old version with the 140 horsepower, or if there's a different one that's 150 horsepower. This is the 150 horsepower version, the 0350. Checking my light there. All right, now I'm going to show you why I opened that little window. This is how I like to make sure my beacon works. I reach in here, and flip on my master. I know you guys can't see it because of the sun, but it's working. This little tab is for my stall warning light. Let's see if we can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but I can see it working. So that's good. Turn off the master, going back around. So it's got the same exact engine as the 172. What I have found is that the 172 is a little bit more roomy in the back. This is a 4-seater, it's true, but it is really cramped back there, especially for me, being a really tall guy. I'm 6'2", so if anybody's sitting behind me, hopefully they're a toddler, because their legs aren't going to fit back there. I'll show you guys that here in a minute. I mean, any of my passengers can scoot their seat really far forward, so it's not a problem, but look how much room this guy will have back here. It's not much. I could scoot it forward a little bit, but for my comfort, I like to have it pretty far forward. Now this one's pretty far back. Let's see what's more practical here. Come on now. There. That's usually about where it is for the passenger. That gives them enough room down there. for the co-pilot. And then that gives this guy back here a little bit of legroom. It's still not much. All right, so we are inside the Cherokee 140. Oh, it feels so good to sit in this airplane. It feels really good to own your own airplane, I'm gonna be honest. Don't think I'm baller because I own my own airplane. I had quite a bit of money before I bought the airplane. And now that I have it, I don't have a lot of money, and now I'm flying on a dime, like the video says. It's probably true for a lot of pilots. What I wanted to do when I bought it is I didn't want to have a loan. I don't like paying interest on anything, and frugality and, you know, saving money in the long run is something that we'll get into in other videos. It's something my wife and I are very big on all parts of our lives, and we really think it has benefited us. We're very calculated about what the long range cost is going to be on something and its value. Now me, I was talking a little bit about what I'm doing to become a pilot. I'm actually trying to become a professional pilot, so I need to get a lot of hours. I know that an airplane, once you buy it, as long as you take good care of it and it stays airworthy, you can pretty much get what you paid for it in the first place. So I thought of this as a good investment. It's a lot cheaper to fly your own airplane and deal with any of the repairs you might deal with, depending on the quality of the airplane you get when you get it, than it is to rent at $110 an hour. That was insane to me. So I thought, hey, well, I'd rather put, you know, between $15,000 and $30,000 down right now on an airplane. I'm not going to tell you guys how much I paid for it, and it was a really good deal though. And then get that money back, and then just have a very limited expense while flying it. Plus, you get a little bit more pride with the ownership too. You know, like I said, clubs are also an option. Renting is still an option too if you can find a place that gets you a good deal. But I really like having the freedom of just coming here and having my own airplane. So let's go ahead and get it started. First thing in, you guys can't see it very well. I swear I'll get my GoPro working and you guys won't have to deal with these stupid camera angles. Another thing I'd be getting if I made any profit off of any of this, which I doubt I will, is just like mounts for the cameras, just stuff to make the videos better. I want to do videos so that people can learn from my mistakes, and a lot of them will be flying and me making mistakes because, hey, I'm a new pilot, I make mistakes. You know, that's why some DPEs say, you know, it's a license to learn. It's really true. I've learned a lot so far, and I really regret not having it on video. So hopefully I can get it on video and show you guys so you can learn. So anyways, I got my mixture in. I got my feet on the pedals. It's already chained down. I'm not actually flying today, unfortunately. But very soon we'll be flying, okay guys? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure everything's off, okay? I'm gonna prime it, but instead of using the primer, some old pilot buddies of mine that have been flying for about 30 years said that instead I should pump the throttle in one full and then another half, and then open it about an inch or to half an inch, and that will be my prime. So then I'll check, make sure the prop is clear. Clear the prop. Nobody's out there. Turn my master on, fuel pump, mags over to both, hand on the throttle. The vibration made you guys fall. That's all right. Another piece of equipment that I don't have is I don't have the audio hookup for my headphones, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go flying with you guys, is because I knew it'd just be engine noise and me yelling over the engine, and that's not a lot of fun. I did pick this thing up. It's called an Easy Cool, and it's freaking awesome because I'm out here in Southern California and it's hot. So that's nice. I like it. I'll show you guys a little bit. She's alive. Da da da. Running like a champ. Smooth like butter. Now, I have had some problems with the battery in this airplane. I'm going to go ahead and kill it now. You guys fell again. What are you doing down there? Should be more careful. Gosh. I was having some problems with the battery. That's going to be another episode. Now, as far as the advice is priming with a throttle, if you guys have a better option for that, let me know. I mean, I was told just don't worry about the primer. Just do the throttle prime. But if you guys have more experience, I mean, the guy said he has 30 years of experience with a Cherokee, he's got more experience than me. I'm probably going to take his advice, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? So anyways, that's going to be the conclusion of today's video. I'd like some ideas what you guys would like to see come out of these. It'll be a lot better quality and a lot smoother next time. But, you know, I had a lot of fun showing you guys around my airplane and my airport a little bit. And I'd like to go into more detail with all of it and take you guys flying sometime. We'll go through some new experiences for me. I only have about 100 hours, so there's a lot of new stuff for me to experience. And I'd also like to do some replays of some of the stuff I have learned and I wish I did record. To all new pilots out there, this will be a great video for you guys so you can see what I went and am going through as a new pilot trying to save some money and stay in the air. For all the experienced pilots out there, I look forward to your advice for all the things I'm doing wrong or I could do better. And for all the non-pilots out there, I hope you just have a good enough time that you come back for the next video. Alright, well that video cut out because, well, I ran out of battery and I think the phone overheated too. I'm back at home. I'm gonna edit the video together for you guys. If you guys want to support me in any way, I do have a small Kickstarter just for getting equipment to get this up and going so I don't have to use my phone all the time. I do have a GoPro. It's charging. See, there it is. Told ya. As soon as I get that charged up, I'll be able to use it on my future videos. Until then, it's front-facing camera phones and shoddy camera work. And I'll learn as I go. So leave a comment on what you guys would like to see. Leave a like if you like what you saw, and hey, subscribe. Tell your friends, and we'll go on some fun flying adventures on a dime. Okay, bye.